Good Monday morning, everyone. We are on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange to break down today's market action with Jim Cramer. And Jim, it's the busiest week for earnings.
Yeah.
Give us your take.
Well, I think that we are in a period where it's very easy to see that tech could be taking a hit. Very easy to see that the industrials could be taking a hit. Money shifting over to the banks. Why the banks? Because interest rates are going up. I think the money is shifting over to the healthcare stocks. Nice move in United Health. But I think that if you're involved with industrial, you're in the crosshairs of the president, who may be undoing some of the things that Larry Kudlow said to me just last week at Delivering Alpha, where Larry was quite positive about what could happen with the EU in Washington this week. And I think the president is kind of lobbing these bombs on Twitter that would be indicative of maybe you shouldn't be too complacent. And that's part of the problem.
And we'll see what happens Wednesday with President Trump's meeting with Jean-Claude Juncker.
Right.
But Jim, you've long talked about the importance of financial stocks leading the market.
Right. Now, what's happened is, it turns out that all anybody really cared about was the 10-year. If the 10-year goes up in yield, down in price, then people buy the bank stocks, and otherwise they go down. And what's incredible is that there really isn't anything more to it. I kept hoping that there would be a realization that these banks have a lot of leverage to make money a lot of other ways, but nobody gives a darn. What they care about is the 10-year, and if the 10-year is going in the right direction for the banks, meaning that yields are going up, then people buy the stocks, and that's what's happening.
All right, meanwhile, Jim, let's talk about real money stock of the day. It's Fiat, Sergio Marchionne stepping down.
Look,
you've interviewed him.
Marchionne is an amazing man, a true visionary, and there are people who can't be replaced, and I think he's one of them. I know that when he brought race public, a lot of people felt it was just foolhardy because Ferrari could never scale. It was handmade. Well, guess what? It scaled, and he was brilliant about it. People felt that there was no way that you could necessarily revive the Jeep brand. Nope. He made Jeep into a bestseller, selling 1 million a year. He pivoted and started being concerned about electronic vehicles after initially saying that he didn't think they were the way of the future. So a visionary is hard to replace.
And the stock is up, what, 200% over the past 2 years?
Wow, he's a great man.
Quite a contrast.
I wish him well. The stories do not read well, but a remarkable man. When I interviewed him, he was so far ahead of what I was saying. I'd done a massive amount of homework. It didn't really matter. He just knows. He knows what the future looks like.
Meanwhile, Jim, Hasbro shares up about 10 points on those earnings. You'll have the CEO on Mad Money
Brian
tonight.
Goldner on tonight. We had said recently in a Mad Money piece that it looked like that this could be a Nike situation where once you realize that the problems with Toys R Us are behind them, then in that case Nike was Sports Authority, then you had to be long the stock. That's why we had urged people to be long it ahead of the quarter, because this is a quarter that showed that Brian has thought through everything he was going to do with Toys R Us, and now you're going to start anniversarying some very easy comparisons, and that's what people are excited about.
And Jim, that Mad Money piece you're talking about was on July 9th. The stock was at 96 then.
Yeah,
it's now at 103.
We said you had to buy it. Thank you. And I think it's not done going higher.
Okay, Jim, we'll watch for your interview tonight on Mad
Thank
Money,
you.
and Jim and I are going to continue talking about stocks in our ActionAlertsPlus.com video. Please join us there.